Hey everybody, it's Kendra. Welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you've been here before. My video today is going to be a garden update. About 2 months ago, I did a haul video of all the seeds I had picked up from Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds. So I've been doing some planting, I've been starting a ton of seeds, and I've been getting organized and all this. So I kind of wanted to do an update and just show you what I've grown and talk about like what I'm doing and kind of my strategy and everything. So as I mentioned in that video, I had signed up for a couple community garden spaces. I think when I filmed that, I was only thinking I would get one space. So I'm very pleased to say I actually have 2 garden spaces in one community garden, which is about 10 minutes away from where I live. And then I've got another garden space in a community garden about if I drove there, probably like 3 minutes away. So the one garden where I've got the 2 spaces, they're side by side. So my garden space will end up being 30 feet by 20 feet. And then the individual plot at the other community garden is 18 feet by 18 feet. So this year is going to be a big year of experimentation for me, not only regarding, what I'm growing, like the seeds I've selected and so on, but also just which garden I prefer. Like, does one of them have better soil? Do I have a better yield at a particular garden? All right, before we get into the garden, I want to just discuss a few random things. The first thing, I've been keeping a garden journal. This is my garden journal. Basically in this, I'm just keeping track of when I plant things, what I plant, how many seeds, how many containers of a certain type of seed, and also the type of growing medium I'm growing this in. So I've talked about my worm composter on here, and I've talked about compost. So the first round of stuff I planted, the first couple rounds, I actually did in a mix of my worm compost and potting soil. And then once I was out of that mixture, I mixed up a new batch. I had more compost ready, so I, scooped out the compost, and then I did a mixture of coconut coir, and then also a little bit of potting soil. As I've been doing this, I've been reading that you shouldn't necessarily use soil to start seeds. I had no idea about this. So yeah, as I've been going along, I've been using less and less soil for actually starting seeds. And then this third time, I actually just planted seeds a few days ago. I was totally out of compost. My worms they're chugging along. They've got a lot of stuff to eat, but I didn't have any finished compost. So I just used one of those coconut coir bricks, expanded that, and I'm just doing a test and growing stuff only in coconut coir. I'm starting my seeds completely in coconut coir, and yeah, I'm just, with that, I'm seeing where I have the best luck. Do I have the best luck in a mix of compost and coir? Is it okay to put soil? Whatever. Also, you will notice when I actually show you the plants, I've been using all types of different containers to actually pot stuff in. I've been trying not to buy too much stuff because gardening, you'll notice once you start gardening, the price of stuff can really add up. I mean, I've probably spent about $100 on all my seeds. I have to put up fencing around my garden, which is totally an unexpected expense. I mean, obviously I knew I was going to have to put up a fence, but I didn't really realize how much it was going to cost. So anyway, there's that. But then just regarding pots, I've been trying to recycle stuff as much as I can. So I have bought a lot of those biodegradable pots. They're fairly affordable. But you'll notice I've been using a ton of egg cartons. I actually had been saving all of my egg cartons up for a friend whose mom actually has chickens. So I just had this huge stack of egg cartons in the back of my car and just kept putting them in there until I saw my friend. But then I was like, hey, that'll work really well for planting stuff. So I've used a ton of egg cartons to plant. Also, just regarding what I put the stuff in. I don't want to have just an egg carton just sitting somewhere and then water it and have water go everywhere. So I've actually been using a lot of lettuce containers, the large pound and a half plastic lettuce boxes. Those are perfect to put some egg cartons in. You'll see that in just a second. Also, I want to mention a software that I've been using that is so helpful, and I love it. And I'm so thankful to one of you, Brittany, who actually recommended this software to me. There's a software out there called Grow Veg, and they give you a free 7-day trial just to play around with it. And then otherwise it's $29 for a year subscription. So I did actually end up buying the year subscription just because I thought it was so helpful. Basically, you know, you can design your garden, you can plan your garden, put in all your different plants, and it's really handy because let's say, for example, you're growing melons. Well, melons are going to take up a lot more space than, say, carrots. Okay, so if you put like a melon on your garden, your little grid, it's going to show you exactly how much space each of these things needs. So it's really, really handy for planning your garden. Also, another thing with Grow Veg, they do talk about companion planting and which plants go well with which other plants. This year, I really am going to try to practice companion planting, which is basically, figuring out which plants work well together, which plants don't work well together, and either keeping them together or separating them. Another thing with companion planting, there are certain flowers that can really, like flowers and herbs, that can keep the bugs away. So like, for example, marigolds and nasturtiums are super helpful apparently for like everything. I feel like a marigold and a nasturtium is a companion plant for just about everything I'm growing. So you'll see in a second, I'm growing a ton of marigolds, a ton of nasturtiums. I'm getting these flowers ready, and they're just like, I think I'm gonna put a border around my entire garden of these flowers. All right, and with that, let's go take a peek at all of my plants. All right, so here we are in our office. This is where I've been doing all of my planting. I've been doing it in here just because I want to keep the cats out, and obviously there's a door here that I can close. So the kitties are banished from this room. So I've got a ton of plants in here, tons of seeds started. I've got this cool plant stand that my dad actually built me. And then on the balcony, just outside this window, I've got a ton more plants that I'm going to show you in a sec. All right, so starting at the top of my plant stand. So here I've actually got some Meyer's lemon seeds, and I'm so excited. They're sprouting so well. It took ages for them to sprout. This is probably at least like 6 or 8 weeks worth of growth. It took them forever to sprout, but since they've popped up, they're really doing well. I actually had a Meyer's lemon tree in California, and it was amazing and gave me tons of lemons, and then I killed it on the way to Wisconsin. It actually froze. So next, what do we have here? I believe these are marigolds. Yes, so you see this container here. This is one of those salad boxes I was talking about. And inside, I've actually just taken an egg carton and cut it in half. I couldn't fit it the long way, but if you cut it 6 by 6, and then even cut off like 3 more of another one, you can totally get 15 in there perfectly. So it's nice. The plastic container just keeps water from dripping. So then you can see I just wrote Marigold Giant Bicolor. So I believe I planted these actually like 2 or 3 days ago, and they are really just popping so well. I've got a ton of marigolds planted. They're so easy to grow. All right, moving down to my second shelf. This is a shelf where I actually keep like mostly seedlings all the time because I have this seed mat here. So this seed mat stays on all the time. It's a very, very low heat. So I try to keep just stuff that I just planted on there to give it some warmth and get it really going. So here, again, I've got one of these salad containers. I've got a little biodegradable pot in there. These are my Hawaii marigolds. This is one you'll see I did with just coconut coir. It looks a little bit different than the marigold pots I just showed you. Next here, I've got 2 more egg cartons. On the left, I've got some Gypsy marigolds. I actually have 3 types of marigolds going. I think there's one, it's like Gypsy something, Hawaii something, and then Giant Bicolor. This one is all basil. Obviously, I just planted these, so nothing's happening yet. And then these pots over here, I've actually planted some watermelon seeds. I got a free pack of watermelon seeds from Baker Creek, and they're finally starting to pop. This guy just popped today. I'm so excited. All right, going down to this next little row, I've got all sorts of stuff sprouting up, my cute little babies. So I believe this tray is all marigolds. What do we have here? Yes, these are Hawaii marigolds, and these are the Gypsy ones again. So you can really see, I just showed you like the Gypsy marigolds and the Hawaii ones that I just planted. These are probably like a week or 10 days old, maybe not even that. So they really pop up super quickly. All right, and then here, what do I have here? Oh, these are snapdragons. So I have some apple blossom snapdragons and tequila sunrise ones. I really need to thin those, but I have to say thinning plants is like my least favorite thing because I just feel like I'm killing things and I don't like that. Here, these are the first marigolds I planted, I think. Yeah, these are the giant bicolor ones. And those you can see, obviously they've got like this next little set of leaves. So those are doing very well as well. All right, and then I've got these biodegradable pots kind of surrounding my marigolds. These are actually cantaloupe seeds. So these 4 here in the smaller pots, these were from Jung Seed Company. And these were a freebie. I actually went to a little garden expo last year and got some freebies. And then those ones in the back, the big honkers, those are my French melons. It's like Petit Cri de Reine, and they are like the most delicious melons. So I'm really excited to see those popping up. And if those melons work, they're going to be delicious. All right, and then finally here, this is a little pot of cosmos. These are called seashell cosmos. Beautiful pink, purple, white cosmos. And I believe those become like kind of double petals. All right, and then finally moving down to my bottom level, I've got some more stuff in egg cartons and then also in these like compacted peat pellets. So this is where I did actually start a lot of stuff. And I've since like transplanted some of the stuff I started in here into biodegradable pots. So these guys over here are basil. These are all, I believe, nasturtiums that I just planted. So nothing's happening with those yet. This is oregano. This row is oregano. This is one random sweet pea that I'm still waiting to sprout. And then I believe all of these are zinnias. Yeah, and they're starting to finally peek out a little bit. All right, I'm just gonna pull this tray out because it is kind of chaotic and I've got all kinds of stuff in here and it's hard to see. So I've got 3 egg cartons here. They all have different stuff in it. So this side is catnip, and then here we've got bachelor buttons. I also have another pack of bachelor button seeds I'm just gonna throw directly into the soil. Next, this little egg carton is all lettuce. So this one I believe is butter crunch. And then this one is called Quatre Saisons, which is kind of like a, I don't know, I think it's kind of like a head lettuce, leaf lettuce, I'm not really sure. And then finally back here, what a hot mess this is. So these guys, this really scraggly stuff is dill. All right, and then this guy here, these tiny little sprouts, this is called mâche. This is a really great green, I love it. But I think with all of the greens, I don't think I'm actually gonna transplant these. I might just eat these as sprouts and then just get some boxes, like some flower boxes for the balcony, and just sow some lettuce seeds directly into that. All right, and finally this last one, what are you guys? Cosmo Rubinet, I believe, Rubinetti or something. These are like beautiful red cosmos that look super fake, so very excited about those. And then finally here, what do I have here? My gosh, I have so many plants. Okay, parsley is here, cilantro is here, this is basil, and then this is thyme. Ooh, yummy thyme, I love my thyme. And then finally, these guys back here, I believe are cucumbers and zucchinis. So what did I mark you at? Oh yeah, this is the cucumber one. So there are 2 different types of cucumber. This one's called tokiwa, and that's like a Japanese style cucumber. And then this one is called dar. And then these are gray zucchinis, and then these are yellow summer squash. All right, so that is everything I've got growing inside, still kind of baby sprouts. Now let's go outside and see what I'm hardening off out there. All right, so welcome to my balcony and all my tomatoes and nasturtiums and all kinds of stuff that's really popping up so well, and I'm so excited. So I've got these nasturtiums here, 12 of each. These ones are called Yeti, and these are called like Sabin, something like that. I'll like list all my plants down below. And then here, these are zinnias. Which ones? We've got giant California zinnias, purple prince zinnias. These are all cabbage. Most of this is cabbage, and I've got a tomato there. All right, then if we look at these 2 trays, these are mostly all tomatoes. Now, with the tomatoes, I started all of my tomatoes in these biodegradable pots. I did about 3 seeds per pot, expecting to thin them. But then they all popped, and I didn't want to thin them and kill them, so I actually transplanted some of them and put them in either, you know, other biodegradable pots or put them into those compacted peat pellets, and they all survived. They're doing so well. So that is why I have so many tomatoes. All right, here I've got some peppers. These are sweet peas, more peppers, and then more tomatoes over there. So pretty much all the stuff that's out here I take out in the morning and put back at night. I'm just kind of letting it harden up toughen up a little bit and get ready, you know, for in a few weeks when I finally plant them. All right, and now finally, the only thing I've actually transplanted into like its final growing stage are sweet peas. So I rigged up this little bamboo kind of stake thing. I need to finish it. I'm actually going to take some string and just kind of go around and around and around and around so the sweet peas have something more to climb. But I transplanted them a couple days ago, and I mean, they're not really climbing, but they look okay. They haven't died yet, so I'm quite pleased about that. All right, so there you go. That's what I've been planting, kind of what I'm thinking about regarding my garden. I still have a lot of stuff to figure out, still have stuff to like nail down and, you know, timing wise and exactly when I'm going to plant stuff. I am planning on planting stuff towards the end of May, possibly waiting until around June 1st. We are in Wisconsin. Generally, I believe the freeze date for my area, like the last freeze date, is around May 26th. But this is Wisconsin, and we literally had like 8 inches of snow at the end of April this year, so I don't mess around with weather in Wisconsin. All right, so if you have any suggestions or tips or advice on anything that I'm doing regarding my plants and whatnot, please leave a comment below. Again, this is my first year doing this, so I'm trying to do like as much research as I can, but I really appreciate all the comments and suggestions and everything I've gotten from you guys just regarding, you know, like random seeds or like even stuff with my worms. It's so helpful. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.